Now, Prince Charles plans to open up royal palaces to the people when he becomes king. It's reportedly part of an effort to transform the historic residences into more public spaces.
Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle and Balmoral are among the sites that the heir wants to open up for longer periods through the year. Prince Charles hopes the move will help more people connect with the monarchy. Joining us now is Royal Editor at Sunday Times, Roya Nikar. Morning to you, Roya. You've spoken to royal sources about this plan. Is this the start, really, of the transition to King Charles?
Well, good morning. I think it's a look into the transition and what the transition will look like. The Queen is still very much the boss, but Prince Charles has had a long time to plan his reign, and one of the key things he wants to do is open up in every way the monarchy, and this is a very physical way of doing it. He feels that the palaces should be more public places rather than private spaces, so he's very keen to open up a lot of the residences, not just the official ones but also the private homes too.
Roya, do you think this is the thin end of the wedge, that he might do a deal, say, with a court to turn some of them into luxury hotels, or the gardens into a caravan park or something like that?
No, I don't think we're going to see anything like that. The official residences, of course, are held in trust by the monarch of the nation, so there's a limit to what you can do with them. And I don't think you'll see him turning his private homes into any kind of luxury accommodation. What it's more about, I think he feels that in the modern era, as the monarchy needs to sort of move with the times a bit, people feel that they want more access to these great, these huge, great palaces, which realistically, the monarch doesn't spend all their time in all of them all the time, and so there's great scope there to open up more to the public. I think it's a good move.
Is it, as we move into modern times, is it a bit of a PR attempt to get people on side more, do you think?
I don't think so. I think it's one of those things that the Prince of Wales has been thinking about for quite a long time, regardless of what's been going on recently. I think he just feels more than a PR move. It's a move to sort of show goodwill, I think, towards the British public, people from around the world, but also just acknowledge that in the modern era, these great big sort of palaces that are not occupied all the time, it's right that the public who help fund and support the monarchy and those buildings should have more access to them.
And Roy, he needs a bit of PR after Harry came out over the last couple of days saying he was a bad father, that the royal family was a terrible place in terms of bringing up kids. What's been the reaction in the UK to whinging Harry?
Well, you may not be surprised to hear that some areas of the British press have not been thrilled about that. I think there's a little bit of eye rolling now that just happens with these kind of I say outbursts from Harry. I mean, he was talking about his mental health, and he's entitled to feel the way he feels. I think the feeling over here, though, certainly from inside royal circles, is that this narrative about, how bad life was in the royal family, we've heard that. We heard that in the Oprah interview, of course, recently. But I think there's a certain sensitivity about making very personal comments about your father and your grandparents, now more than ever, particularly as we just had the funeral of the Duke of Edinburgh. It's not been an easy time for the royal family, and I think there was a certain insensitivity that was felt over here with those recent comments. Yeah,
that's what everyone I spoke to on the weekend said, once you talk about the Queen and, she's just lost the husband, all bets are off. Exactly. Yep. Roya, thank you for your time.
Pleasure.